What's going on, fantasy football fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. These are my waiver wire pickups for week 4 of fantasy football. Let's jump right into the quarterbacks to add if you need a quarterback. I'm really into picking up the top 5 names on this list. Kirk Cousins, is he borderline elite? Is he elite? Is he tier 1, tier 2? He's right up on that edge right there of becoming a must-start, must-add quarterback. And the matchups really aren't too bad. Browns, Lions, Panthers, and then right after the bye, we got the Cowboys. Wow, it's been quite a surprise. We've thought that Kirk Cousins doesn't have much upside. He's a boring quarterback. He's Jimmy Garoppolo, but he's not. He's much better than Jimmy G. Ryan Tannehill, man, you know, I might really want to rank Trey Lance number 2 here just because of the upside. Because now AJ Brown is hurt. Julio Jones has a minor injury. Pretty sure it was tightness or something like that. And Julio Jones will be ready to go week 4. But I don't know about AJ Brown. I think his injury is much more significant and he might miss multiple weeks. Derek Carr, not the best matchups coming up here, but he is the passing leader in the NFL. Another surprise, averaging over 400 pass yards per game. He's been absolutely amazing as a passer. Very underrated passer. And like I was talking about Trey Lance, I could have him ranked as high as number 2. Definitely not a guy that we're probably going to start week 4 because Jimmy Garoppolo is probably the starter week 4. But I see it. Niner fans see it. Fantasy fans see it. And I don't blame Kyle Shanahan for starting Jimmy G. I think that was the right decision. But we saw a lot. Week 3 revealed a lot when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think it's obvious to everybody that Trey Lance is going to give the Niners a better chance to win. He has that same magic, that same exact upside and competitiveness and the fear that he puts in defenses. He has that, it's the exact same thing as I saw in college. I don't know. Maybe he's not ready. Maybe he needs to learn more and develop as a passer as far as reading the defense and making quick, better decisions and his accuracy. Maybe. It's not like Jimmy Garoppolo's doing a great job. I would just put Trey Lance. I think the fantasy numbers are going to go up for all these Niner players. I think they're going to score a lot more touchdowns. I think defenses are going to be a lot more frustrated. So I'm thinking it's only a matter of time, but it's Shanahan. In reality, we have no clue. It's purely a guess on my part. If I was Shanahan, and trust me, I'm not, I would start Trey Lance this week. So that's just me being hopeful. Maybe I'm a huge fan of Trey Lance, if that's not obvious on this channel. I can rank him as high as number 2, but maybe in reality, he should be right here around number 10 or 11. It is what it is. After that, we have Taylor Heineke with some good matchups. And really, these are just really in deep leagues. I'm just going to list them off here. Jameis Winston, Matt Ryan, Sam Darnold going against the Cowboys. Trevor Lawrence, some people will be dropping him. Daniel Jones and Jimmy Garoppolo, who should probably be starting. Vegas has this as a high-scoring game. Over-under is about 50.5, I believe. And I think the Niners are favored to win. Yet again, similar situation to the Packers game is what Vegas is putting this in. I know Ryan Tannehill's not available in a lot of leagues, but he keeps getting dropped. So he may have gotten dropped last week when he put up 2 poor performances the first 2 weeks. Let's go on to, we still have more quarterbacks. Sorry. And in deep formats, we also have Baker Mayfield, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Jacoby Brissett. And this isn't really an ad. Just want to say that Matt Nagy says that Andy Dalton or Fields or Nick Foles might be starting. We don't know. It's just, what does that mean? That means that the Bears are a mess. Running backs to add. Christian McCaffrey was not put on IR. He does have a significant hamstring injury, but he may not even miss any time. I think it's unlikely, and I think it's stupid if he does play week 4, but week 5 is definitely within range of him coming back. He really could come back week 5. He could even come back Um, we could not even miss any time like that. That's definitely a possibility. Um, I just think it's a huge mistake. And I went on the podcast saying, all right, look, we should go all in, spend 100% FAB on Chuba Hubbard. Well, that changed because we did that right after Thursday Night Football. That changed. You may not want to do that, especially with CFC having a small chance of being able to play week 4. Remember, that was a Thursday Night Football game. Christian McCaffrey has 10 days to rest. We'll see what happens. It's just I'm worried about re-injury, but that doesn't mean we should go all in on Chuba Hubbard. Nonetheless, this just probably is more of a wake-up call to why the heck don't you have Chuba Hubbard in the first place, right? One of the best handcuffs, at least the best value handcuff on draft day when he was going like round 14. He was going undrafted in 10-team leagues. And yeah, big wake-up call here. Like, hey, we should probably have Chuba Hubbard rostered in more than 25% of leagues. Like, this is just nuts. So, yeah, you may want to put a $0 FAB claim on it. You may want to, I would burn my waiver wire claim if you don't play with FAB. And maybe you want to spend about a third of your FAB on Chuba Hubbard. Really depends on your league. You know, you're in a 10-team league, your situation. Do you have CMC and no other running backs? Then you might want to go 100% FAB and just secure that RB1 role. Yeah, you know, he needs to be rostered in more leagues. We got Zach Moss, who's been surprising me and seems to be the starting running back for the Bills. And this upcoming game against the Texans is the right game script for him. He should absolutely go off. We have Kenny Gainwell, Jeff Wilson. If you have IR, go ahead and add him, stash him. The way the Niners running back injuries are trending, Jeff Wilson could be the last one standing when he does return in a few weeks. Michael Carter did not perform well, even though Tevin Coleman was out. Now Tevin Coleman's probably going to come back in the lineup. He was out due to an illness. Devin Singletary going against the Texans. Tony Jones is still a really good handcuff. He just has zero value with Kamara. I thought he had some value with Kamara. No, I'm wrong. He has zero value when Kamara is healthy. Maybe down the line he gets some more carries, but as of right now, Kamara's getting the carries. He's getting the targets. He's the man. He's basically their whole offense. Gio Bernard is being used in situations where the Bucs are trailing, so that probably won't be too many times this year, but it's definitely worth considering. I don't know what's going on with the Patriots backfield. I don't know which one to add. People will say it's J.J. Taylor. I don't know, because James White's the guy who got hurt. So that's the pass catching back. I don't know who's gonna be. To me, it's just gonna change every week. I don't know if Bill Belichick knows either. But as of right now, Ramondre Stevenson might actually be active. I got J.J. Taylor written down. I got Brandon Bolden written down. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that James White's probably going to miss a significant amount of time. I do have him in one league, maybe two leagues, and shallow bench leagues. I might consider dropping him, waiting for more information to come out, as he could miss like 8+ weeks. And then we got Kyle Juszczyk, who is a fullback, but we know that Trey Sermons actually was so bad that Kyle Juszczyk was actually looking like the better running back. So I do have him here just in case Eli Mitchell's out again another week. And we have Peyton Barber, who's actually not that bad because the Raiders aren't that bad this year if Josh Jacobs were to miss another game. For wide receivers, it's almost a tie between Tim Patrick and Christian Kirk. I just think Tim Patrick is one of the last wide receivers that are healthy there. And there's a lot of weapons for Kyler Murray to throw to on the Cardinals. But Judy, he's going to miss 2 months. We got KJ Hamler's out for the entire season. Huge blow to that team. I really like KJ Hamler in Dynasty and in deep leagues. And he's done for the year. He won't play another snap this year. And even when Judy returns, he might not be 100%. So we got Tim Patrick number 1, Christian Kirk number 2. I try to name all these guys because I know some people do just listen to this video and don't watch it, and some people watch it and can't listen when they're at work. So I don't know. I try to hit both demographics, the ones that can watch and listen, or the ones that can just do one of the two. Marquez Callaway, I really don't think you guys should have dropped him, and he got that touchdown. He probably won't have a good week this week, but still is worth a roster spot if you can roster him. Cole Beasley, man, 10 targets per game. What a target monster. It was only a matter of time, and the time has come. He did put up 20 fantasy points this past week. He is definitely worth an ad. So these top 4, 5 guys are worth an ad. I think Marquez, Valdez, Scantling in 12-team leagues or deeper is worth considering. Definitely if it's deeper than 12-team. And the rest, you really need to add these guys, the top 4. That's Tim Patrick, Christian Kirk, Callaway, and Cole Beasley. After that, it's whatever. Wide receivers, right? It's a very deep position. We got at number 6, Jalen Reagor. Number 7, Emmanuel Sanders. I think this Bills offense is going to trade off spots. It's going to be Gabe Davis one week. It's going to be Dawson Knox one week. It's going to be Cole Beasley one week. You never know. That's why I got Emmanuel Sanders ranked a little bit lower, but things are trending up for Sanders. Josh Gordon's back, officially signed. He's a wide receiver on the Chiefs. I think he's not that good, but he could be better than the other Chiefs wide receivers who really aren't that good. After Tyreek Hill, there is some room. I mean, there's a reason they signed him, and I think that's the reason. He just might be that number 2 wide receiver, maybe number 3, number 4, number 5. I don't know, but he does have a chance to be the number 2 wide receiver, and that's why he's worth considering. Now, keep in mind, he is just a flyer. He hasn't been good in so long, and I don't have much faith in him. Rashad Bateman should be coming back fairly soon. Keep in mind, he is injured. He won't be playing this week or anything like that. At least I don't think so. Van Jefferson keeps getting more targets and is looking good. And then we got AJ Green, Mr. Consistent, who keeps putting up more and more better numbers. The same targets. Week 1, 6 targets. Week 2, 6 targets. And week 3, 6 targets. And in deeper leagues, this is how I got ranked. The Raiders receivers, I would pick up Ruggs before I pick up Renfro, and I'd pick up Renfro before I pick up Bryan Edwards. Ruggs is the deep threat. Renfro is the possession receiver, and Bryan Edwards, I don't know, Carr's laning the rocks, so everyone's getting targets. Kendrick Bourne, best receiver on the Patriots? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I don't know. And then we got Terrace Marshall, Cedric Wilson, who's starting in a 3 wide receiver sets for the Cowboys while Gallup is injured, and Anthony Miller does exist. He's suiting up for the Texans. For tight ends, I am having Tommy Tremble as the number 1 tight end pickup. Not a smart, safe ad. I'm just going for upside here, and that's what Tommy Tremble is, just in case. He is the next George Kittle, just in case he's the next big tight end. I'm having him here. Temper expectations. It's just a flyer. We might drop this guy in 2 weeks. I know that. But the Panthers did trade away Dan Arnold. So Tommy Tremble's the last man standing, the last receiving tight end, pass-catching tight end for the Panthers. I think it's worth a shot. I think it's worth a $0 FAB claim. He might go under the radar. He's getting a lot of hate. And, man, I've liked him as a prospect, so I'm having him number 1 as a flyer. I think these top 4 options need to be rostered. That's Tommy Tremble, Pat Freiermuth, who I can't stop talking about, got 1 target week 1, 4 targets week 2, and 5 targets week 3. Definitely trending upwards, and Ben's not throwing the ball too far. And then we got Evan Ingram, pretty much another must-add. With Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton hurt, questionable for this week. Let's just say one of them plays and the other doesn't. That could open up a lot more targets for Evan Ingram. Was a little bit rusty coming back, but 6 targets, 2 receptions. That's pretty hopeful. At least he's getting the targets. Don't know if he can catch them, though, but that's another topic. And then we got Gerald Everett, who is out snapping and getting more targets than Will Dissly's, kind of leaving him in the dust when it comes to the tight end race. The relevant tight end race needs to be rostered. And then, after that, it gets a bit wishy-washy, but I did my best to rank him for you guys. Number 5, Austin Hooper. Number 6, Hunter Henry, the receiving, pass-catching tight end for the Panthers. Number 7, Zach Ertz. Number 8, Tyler Conklin, who's just been amazing. It's either going to be KJ Osborne's show or it's going to be the Tyler Conklin show. This past week, it was the Conklin show. 4 targets week 1, 4 targets week 2, and a whopping 8 targets. And he put up a good fantasy points week 3. Dalton Schultz, team high 7 targets this past week. Don't buy too much into it, though. It's going to be changing. Dak likes to throw to different receivers, right? He's going to hit Pollard. He's going to hit CeeDee. He's going to hit Cooper. Cooper's going to be boom or bust. It's going to be a lot of different receivers, guys. So don't just be like, oh, Dalton Schultz, elite tight end, just because he did well one week. It's going to change. And what I'm hoping for is that Dak's going to be good. That's the only constant. Dak should be good. Dak should throw the ball, put up fantasy points. And then we got Dawson Knox, who has been okay, 4 targets per game. Cole Kmet, don't really like the talent, don't really like the Bears, but now we're getting into deeper leagues here. And number 12, Dan Arnold, maybe he is a legit receiving option for the Jags. Number 13, Blake Jarwin. Number 14, Jordan Akins. And number 15, Max Williams of the Cardinals. Defenses. Lots of great defenses. I got the Bills number 1. Even though they're not a waiver ad, I just get a lot of questions every week, and I'm just going to answer it with this. They're like, what about the Bills, D? Like, bro, they're rostered in every single league. But just in case you're in the 10% of leagues where they're not rostered, they're the number 1 defense. Bills D's been great this year, and they're facing the worst team or second to worst team or third to worst team, however you rank them. That's the Texans. So they're going to absolutely go off. It's a safe defense. It's a high upside defense. Absolutely love them. They need to be rostered for sure if they're not already. The Saints D, kind of a similar boat. Now that they're healthy, they look like an elite defense, or at least borderline elite defense. They could be one that you start every single week regardless, as long as they're healthy. You got to check the health. Now they're going against the Giants, who don't score a lot of points and who make a lot of mistakes. So that's an opportunistic defense this week. And then we got the Bears D going against the Lions. Should be a low-scoring poop show where the Bears somehow pull out a win. Maybe similar score to the Ravens-Lions game we just saw. Low-scoring game. Lots of quote-unquote defense this game. We got the Dolphins D going against the Colts. Bengals D going against the Jags. This is the highest I'll ever rank the Bengals defense probably. Packers D going against the Steelers. Titans D going against the Jets. Man, Titans, this is the best opportunity Titans D is going to be on here. I never ranked them. I just don't trust them. This could be a Zach Wilson bounce back game. Washington going against the Falcons. Oh boy, man. I never thought I'd rank Washington this low, and I like them this week a lot. We just don't trust them, right? Matt Ryan could throw they have weaknesses, especially with their pass defense. Put it like that. Colts D, it's a bad matchup every week. They're bad. They're this and that. But every single game, like the past 20 games, like the past this year and last year, the Colts D puts up points. Like they get you points. So if you're in a deep league and all you have is the Colts, like you can roll them out. I love them. Lots of great options this week. So we're really lucky. And even the Lions D I got on here going against the Bears. Cowboys D going against the Panthers I expect CMC to be out. I don't know though. Giants D going against the Saints. Chiefs D going against the Eagles. Chargers D going against the Raiders. And Jags D going against the Bengals. Of course, those last few that I named, you don't want that. But some people in 20-team leagues, 32-team leagues, they need my help too. Week 4, waiver wire pickups for kickers. My favorite segment. Here we go. Number 1, Tyler Bass. I'm worried it's going to be all extra points, but hey, man, if he puts up 6 extra points, we got to take that, right? We don't know if it's going to be extra points or field goals. We just know he's got a really, really high floor this week, the highest floor of any kicker. Tyler Bass going against the Texans. Evan McPherson, he's got the leg, he's got the accuracy, and now he's finally got the matchup that we want. So on paper, if let's say we don't see what's going on the past 3 weeks, if I just looked, if we went back in time and saw who the Bengals were playing, I'd say week 4, Evan McPherson. This should be his highest scoring game out of the first 4 games. for sure. And you know what? Now that we are looking at the points he's been putting up, I really do believe that. I think he's going to absolutely go off this week. He might have the most upside, biggest sleeper value pick. You can get Evan McPherson for free and start him with confidence. I mean, this could be my favorite ad this week out of all positions, out of everything. I love Evan McPherson this week. We got Matt Gay going against the Cardinals, Brandon McManus going against the Ravens, Mason Crosby, Daniel Carlson, Robbie Gould, Greg Zuerlein, Jason Sanders, Dustin Hopkins, Greg Joseph. And I'd say really, man, these top three are really good options. I mean, I love the top two and then 3 and 4. So that's kind of like the tiers right there. So Bass and McPherson, love them. Gay and McManus, I really like those two. And then after that, I mean, it's like whatever. And then number 12, I got Cairo Santos, the Bears kicker. And number 13, Rodrigo Blankenship, who's actually pretty good. I can't predict what's going to happen that game. That's really all it is. I do like him. So don't hate on me for ranking Blankenship so low. If you want to start him, go ahead. Talented kicker, huge fan, should have a good game, but I don't know what's going to happen this game. That's all. Like I like to look at games where I have a better sense, a better grasp of what's going to happen, at least some kind of idea. And Colts Dolphins, man, that's two messy teams with some good pieces on defense. So I don't know what's going to happen in that game. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Smash that like button. Also, subscribe to our second YouTube channel. It's called Fantasy Couch Podcast. You can just click the orange couch or look at the description. Subscribe to that second YouTube channel. Good luck this week. I read every single YouTube comment, so drop your questions down below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Peace.